Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spooky Game Night 5. My name is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am so happy and excited to be hanging out with you guys tonight. Tonight, we got a little bit of a wild card entry. What does that mean? Well, we got, like, you know, a few different options. We got the Outlast 2 demo. Outlast was a game that I absolutely adored. It was spooky. It was everything I needed in a game and more, because I don't really know why it was more. I just think that's something people say. So it wasn't really more, but it was spooky. I'll give it that much. We're gonna find out if this is kind of the game for us. And then afterwards, I got the game Park, which is supposed to be a really cool game, and I got the game Amnesia? No, not Amnesia. I don't remember what it was called. We got another game. We got lots of games. We're going to keep tonight real loose, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to worry too much. We're going to talk and hang out and see what happens. Without further ado, I want to make sure that this is streaming, because it seems like it's stuck on my screen, but hopefully it's not stuck on your guys' screen. Your daughter is getting on her computer to watch too? Okay, Victoria. Out of respect, I'm going to make sure I don't swear too much. Because, you know, I don't want to be that guy. Here we go. Play demo. If I say a swear, and I'll say this to your daughter, if I say a swear because I'm afraid, it's only a reactionary swear. Okay? I say there's two types of swearing. There's swearing to hurt someone, you know, saying mean words against someone else. That's not cool. Okay? But then there's also the kind of reactionary swearing, which is more like, oh, that's more my, you know, sort of, just heard it all? Good. Then we're going to rip. We're going to go wild. Welcome to the Outlast 2 demo. You are Blake Langerman, a cameraman working with your wife, Lynn. The two of you are investigative journalists, willing to take risks and dig deep to uncover the stories no one else will dare touch. You're following a trail of clues that started with the seemingly impossible murder of a pregnant woman known only as Jane Doe. The investigation has led you miles into the Arizona desert, to a darkness that so deep that no one could shed light upon it, and a corruption so profound that going mad may be the only sane thing to do. Continue.
Here, let me try a version that can serve as an intro for the whole piece. Tell me when we're good.
Okay, we're good.
2 weeks ago, a young woman was found wandering, barefoot, pregnant, and alone on a barren stretch of highway 100 miles from the nearest... Oh,
The fuck?
did you see that?
We lost the engine. Fuck. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh, no, Juliet. I found you. Going down.
This game is no joke, apparently, because they just swore more than I've done in the entire series.
Lynn!
Oh shit. He wears glasses. Every horror movie ever has taught me that the guy wearing glasses ain't gonna live. Oh, I just realized I swear too. Sorry. Oh man, I'm already into this. I'm digging this. Raise your camcorder, press right. Turn on the night vision, press F.
Lynn!
Use the mouse wheel to scroll on.
Lynn! Lynn!
Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Creepy church. Creepy churches are never good. To vault, press spacebar. I would have figured it out. Let's not worry about that. Blair Witch, the game version. Looks like it, basically, eh? To knock. Press to knock.
Hello?
Press
I'm lost.
to hold
And
or
hurt.
open the door. No. Jammed. Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh. That's, looks like intestines, eh? Oh, I'm running out of battery. Oh, press R to reload batteries. Nice. Tom, just make sure you leave the bag of entrails by the front door in a bucket, please. Do you want me to bring them inside? No. Just leave them in a bucket right by the front door. I want all the flies to really get in there. Make sure they're extra disgusting, please. Why do you want a bucket of entrails again? Don't worry about it, alright? I need a bucket of entrails. Oh. Hello? Is anybody out here? Cactuses. Never a good sign. This is,
Is anybody there?
press hold to open.
Please.
Oh. That's not good. Is he waving right with the flies? Knock. Oh. Alright. Shut the door.
Who's...
Oh. What the fuck is that? Is this a dude? Sorry. That was reactionary swearing. I made such a big deal of it, now I'm worried. Oh, what the hell?
Jesus. Lynn. No.
What the shit? What? Yo, buddy. God damn. See, this is why I don't leave Canada. You never run into any of this in Canada. I mean, like, you would, but, you know, it would be sanctioned. And people would be apologizing constantly. Oh, sorry about that blood bucket there, eh? Oh, sorry about those intestines, eh? Didn't mean to leave them out, eh? Yo, buddy? Hello? Shut that door. Oh, these doors open and shut way too loud. I would much prefer a nice quiet door shutting. I don't know why I want to hide, but I kind of want to. What's that guy doing? He's luring you in, don't go. I read that way too late. Finally got a battery blocks replaced in the no Atrons. That's hilarious. A little bit of WD-40. That's what we need. WD-40 up in this place. I heard someone say ride the tricycle. Should we bother? Should we go back? I'm eating through batteries like nobody's business. Alright, let's just get out of here. I thought I like broke my leg or something. But we're better now. WD-40 would be my like, I would take it on the road, you know, if I ever had to travel somewhere. Oh. A lot of crosses. I feel like the religious symbols and all the entrails are sort of conflicting ideologies, you know? To open windows? Oh! You know, I mean, like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, Christianity is not synonymous with disemboweling. But that just could be my, my view. Is that my wife's scarf? Jesus. Are there enough? Maybe they're like hiding from vampires. Vampires, yeah. Alright, everybody just calm down. Everybody that's fucking moving everywhere. No. Satanus in Mycl. Which, now just so you know, roughly translates to Satan is in Mycl. Mycl. So, what I'm gathering here is that there's a man named Mycl, and Satan is in him. Oh, yes. Down here, this looks like a good spot to be. It depends on the era of Christianity. Yeah, even in the bad days, I don't think it was like this. Who knows? Let's just nail some masks on babies. This looks interesting. Let's just not say we did. Are those people? Oh shit. Those like kids? Oh my god. Talk about fuck. Well, you know what? There are terrible, monstrous people in the world, guys. And we're gonna kill every last one of them. See, this would be the part in the movie game. If this was real life, and for some reason I wasn't scared, I'd like grab an axe and I'd be like, oh, you son of a bitch. Because, you know, like, child murderers, man, they don't deserve to die. I mean, they do deserve to die. Oh, what the fuck? What was that? To look behind, hold Alt left. Oh, god damn it. Yo, what the hell was that? That does not fit with any of the ideology that I felt was representative of this game. Alright. Come on. I just want to save everybody, man. Oh. Oh. Is it bad that this makes me feel like so much better? Hey! Canada! I love how we're just Canada. It's like, here's all the places that matter, and this is a place. We're just gonna record some, like, really nice stuff for a minute. More Jesus. Everybody just relax, right? Political map of the world in 1992. Friend of mine used to have this atlas, and he's Canadian as well, and he bought it. He bought it here, and it was called U.S. and the World, and I always thought that was so funny. Tuesday, December 7th. Man, these guys are big on the religion, eh? Catholic school, the week success. What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? We asked ourselves during Colat, what would we do? But the real question is, what would Jesus do? How is it only 6? What's that? Chassis 95. Batteries, nice. I would totally just stay here. This feels safe and good and you know, like current. This feels like a real place. And yet I know we're gonna walk through one of these things and there's gonna be a pile of dead babies again. I'll be honest, I did not expect this. I like 1000% figured it would just be horror after horror. Horror after horror after horror. But not like a school. Maybe because I was a nerd, but, you know. I guess. Thought I saw something.
Jessica? And Lynn.
What?
This was Jessica's.
Yeah, this doesn't have a good ending, does it? Oh, shit. What the fuck is that? What the? Shit. Alright, battery, I'll take you. Do you have to like be laughing like right in my fucking head? Seriously? Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god. Holy shit. That scared the fuck out of me. Oh man, that was reactionary. Sorry, Victoria. Oh. Jesus Christ. Fuck this. Get me out of here. Alright, I don't like that thing. Let's get out.
Jessica, oh God. Jess.
What the shit? What the fuck is that? Why isn't it like moving? Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
No bleeding.
Okay, we're running. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Damn straight. Run, run, run. Oh. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh. Jesus Christ. I have no idea where I'm going. Oh no. Oh. Oh shit. Oh my god. What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh man. Well, that was definitely upsetting, I guess is the word we're going with. Man, that like, she chopped the fuck out of our crotch. She just went to town at it. On it? At it. She went to town on it. So like, do you play that guy in the game? I guess not. You know what would be really neat? If that was like the intro, and then it switches to your wife's perspective, and the remainder of the game you play as the wife. That'd be pretty neat. But man, what were they doing with like that? With the hold on, I gotta turn on this audio. There we go. What were they doing with that like tongue thing and that whole thing that was in the high school? This game has a lot more of a spiritual sort of twist to it, I guess. Because I don't know if you guys played Outlast, and if you haven't, and if you guys want to see it, I might replay that one. You know, it'd be really fun when Outlast 2 comes out. What I'm thinking is, like, if Outlast 2 is going to be announced, you know, say January or whatever, it's going to launch, we'll spend 2 spooky game nights before replaying Outlast 1, sort of in anticipation of Outlast 2, because I really enjoyed Outlast 1. But Outlast 1 didn't have any of that spiritual stuff, if memory serves. It was just like straight up horror. It was in like an asylum. I could be wrong though, because I don't remember it entirely. I don't remember how it ended. So it might be worth rewatching. Wow. Anyway, that was a good start. What do you say we jump into another? You know what? I'm thinking we should jump into the park. Because the park looked pretty damn cool. And Bjorn's not with us tonight, but I think he's with us in spirit. And I think he would check out the stream later. So I'm thinking we should jump into the park. Lorraine says it's got to be demons because they said they worship Satan. They said they worship Satan? Oh, that's right. Satan and Mycl. I remember that. All right, let's jump to the park. Let's see what's up with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the park. This is a short. I stress short because all the reviews, I always like to read the reviews on a game. I like to, you know, check out if they're actually good. Oh yeah, Evan recommended the park too, so there you go. We got 1 out of the 2 people that said we should play the park here with us, so I don't feel as badly. But I read all the reviews. Most said this game is really fun. The only thing I heard was that it is short. So, I'm not holding my butt. That's what I do when I'm nervous. I'm not going to hold my butt. I'm just going to play it as is. We're going to have a little bit of spooky fun. We're going to see what's up. How's the volume for you guys? Maybe I shouldn't have turned it down. It was loud in me, but then I realized I could have turned down My volume. You played it in less than an hour? Well, there you go. Because it's 11:30 for me anyway. We'll play this. We'll get spooked together. We'll see what's up. The Park. Another game when it comes out is Agony. Yo, I watched Agony, the gameplay. That did look weird. It was sort of like a... What did it remind me of? It reminded me of like Hell, to be honest. You know, not that I've been to Hell. Or at least not in a while. But that's what it reminded me of. It was like the crackling of the bones beneath the dude's feet and stuff. Were super, super creepy. And there's another one called Scorn, I think. Scorn, and it's sort of like H.R. Geiger? Is it H.R. Geiger? I don't know, but Geiger, the guy who did Alien, has like... It looks very influenced by his art style, so we'll check out that as well. Doom Hell. I don't know, it just reminded me of Hell. Yeah, Hell. You know, that Hell. Although, I don't know, there's been some pretty terrible depictions of Hell in film, like in a good way. Two of my favorite depictions of Hell and Satan, actually. The first one was Event Horizon. If you ever seen Event Horizon, they sort of show like hell leaking through. We were talking about it the other night, so I know a few of you at least know it. And it's like really, really grotesque, like blood orgies and shit, which is like pretty good because a lot of depictions of hell are pretty, you know, pretty tame. And I think, you know, like if it's like the worst of the worst, it's got to be like terrible. And then different movie, but one of my favorite depictions of like Satan, weirdly enough, is in the movie. It's a Keanu Reeves movie. What the hell was it? Constantine, and Peter Stormare plays Satan, and he's like wearing this like sort of like off-white suit, and he floats down from the sky, and then his feet are like dipped in like black ink almost, and he just plays this really weird take on Satan. I don't know why that came to mind, but that's a really cool depiction of Satan, I always thought. I don't know why, he was just kind of a neat guy. Blood orgies, yeah, you don't want to know what that is. That's like one of the most horrific, just a saying. But there's no good that's gonna come out of anything with those two words in the same saying. Anyway, this is The Park. This is a game by Funcom. Who cares? You don't care. Let's just do it. The Park is a narrative experience, best played in a dark room wearing headphones. That's what we're doing. It deals with subject matter that may be disturbing to some players. During the course of play, The Park may manipulate graphics, audio, control settings, and your sanity. This is perfectly normal and should not be any cause for alarm. Hey, that's kind of cool. Victoria and Mark's daughter, if you're still in the room. This game could be pretty intense. But you're in high school. I apologize again for my swearing. I have to check my sanity settings. Good call, Shane. Let me just make sure. Okay, let me look here. Yeah, I'm at 11. We're good.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum.
Callum?
Stay in the car. I'll go and ask information.
Oh, it's Bad News Bears. Funny you mentioned Keanu Reeves because the new John Wick trailer. I just watched the new John Wick trailer. It looks good. Well, it looks as good as the first one, and I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. But I thoroughly enjoyed the first one primarily because I had no idea what I was in for when I watched it. Oh, I always like when you can see the bodies. But 90% of the time, it's a guy. So this is the first time looking down, you actually see boobs. That's a new experience for me, I must say. You know, besides man boobs. We're here. My laptop just went through a mandatory restart again. That's frustrating. They gotta come at the worst times. Well, it's okay because we just started The Park. I'm good. I use these kinds of things between my parents. Always watching you play games and language at school. Nice.
Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience. Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
What? Hold on. What just happened? Where's my mouse? Oh. What? Huh? I just lost control of my mouse. That was weird. Examine plaque. Okay.
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
Atlantic Island Park, a tribute to the untamed heart of Solomon Island and the people who used their talents to bring the dream of Nathaniel Winter to life. This park may be a place where joy and laughter are gathered, and used to infect all those who follow after. Dedicated this first day of May, 1977, James B. Longley.
Nice. The clouds are a thing of nightmares. I know this game's only an hour, so I'm gonna take it chill. I want to experience the full effect.
What?
Oh shit.
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath. Think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop! I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
Thanks for unlocking the gates for me, Tom. I assume that's your name because you look like a Tom. Press right click to shout for Callum. Shouting provides audible and visual clues to guide you.
Callum, where are you going?
Catch
Cool.
me, Mommy.
Atlantic Island Park, Nathaniel Winter welcomes you. Shall we read this flyer? Atlantic Island Park. Welcome to Atlantic Island Park. When I first came to visit Solomon Island, I fell deeply in love with its natural beauty. It's a scenic place. I created many of my best memories here. I wanted to create a place that captures the essence of Solomon Island, a place where families would bring their children to create memories of their own. I invite you to explore this park that we have created, from the Ferris wheel, which rivals the local lighthouse for the best views of the area, to the sideshow alley, where we have many fascinating games and objects from the local area to explore. Enjoy, Nathaniel Winter. Chad the Chipmunk recommends, for the little ones, try the Tunnel and Tales of gentle, family-friendly retelling of timeless fairy tales. If it sounds a little too slow, grab an adult and jump on the bumper cars. Full throttle fun for everyone. For the teens, yeah, we're not going to read all that. That voice sounds like Nathaniel, doesn't it though? I don't even know what Nathaniel sounds like, but it sounds like him.
Something special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
She totally has mom jeans.
The park is now closed.
Uh-oh.
Have a safe journey home.
Yo, it's looking like more rusted, look. Oh shit. For some reason this reminds you of BioShock. Yeah, I can see that. And Westworld, I hear that, Mark. I have not, well, I should say that. I sound like I've seen it. Haven't watched it yet. I've read the original Mike Crichton, and I've seen the original movie with Yul Brynner, so I know the concept pretty well, but
The park.
I'm saving it, to be honest.
What happened here?
Press shift to toggle running. No, that's a chump's move. The minute we toggle running, they're gonna follow.
It's easy to get lost here.
Okay. We got a lot of experience with navigating, you know, because of Colat. So here's the entrance. Wait, what? Where are we? Yeah. Yeah. So that means Sideshow Alley is right in front of us. And they thought they can confuse us. Let's give us the full spooky treatment. Put on the flashlight.
You can't catch me.
Oh, really? Get back here, Callum.
Come back, Callum.
Hey, buddy, come back. Damn it, kid. Seriously? Should we go to the spooky mouth or follow where the kid's going? The one I'm trying to get. Carrie Killian is Satan's whore. Well, that's just rude. Now, see, if I was role-playing this, which I am, because I role-play fucking everything. Sorry, I swear again. Because I role-play everything, I'm going to continue chasing him. Because he's my kid. Why would I stop, right?
Callum, where'd you go?
This way.
Come to mommy, Callum.
Come on, Mommy.
Examine shoe.
I think this belongs to Callum.
Yep, it's a shoe. Let me just check. Yep. Wait. I think. No, could it be? Yeah. Yeah, this is a shoe. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, that's a shoe, guys. Feel good about that. Feel good about that investigation.
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. Chad will have a dead-end job. Chad will die a useless slob. Poor guy. Alright, I gotta take a pee. No, I don't.
What's this?
Purchased the land on Solomon Island for a pittance, I might add. Whatever old Archie Henderson did to the locals, just the mention of his name, and people slamming doors and locking shutters. At that moment I arrived on the island. My lawyers had arranged blah 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 blah. The name is perfect. I cannot imagine it being anything else. Does it start as something amazing? This is the part of the story where everything's great. And everyone's happy. I half read what Mark wrote. Something about if he doesn't come when he's called, then good luck. Hardcore dad. I like that. You will come back or you will stay here all night. What? Tunnel. Tunnel of Tales?
Callum, stay where you are.
Yeah, let me just get on a creepy boat in the middle of nowhere. Oh, can we see him? Oh, did he just go in that tunnel? Shit. Alright. Callum, against my better judgment, I'm gonna get in this thing. That was interesting.
Callum? Stop!
This is the
Callum!
park, Kiki. Sorry, I have the ability to call his name. I keep not
Where are you?
spamming it. Well, mainly because I don't know. I guess I don't care about the kid. I feel no emotional attachment. You know, like you get this game should at least be 24 hours long, and 23 of those hours should be before this part started, and it should be me just feeding the kid. You know, caring about the kid.
In a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel.
I know this story. They
were
grew up and
very
had sex.
poor and had very little to bite or sup.
With other people, obviously. This isn't a Game of Thrones-esque story.
What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband. We will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there.
Oh, that's creepy.
No, my wife. I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool.
So I hit the dead
Hansel
kid.
and Gretel overheard their parents talking.
Should I not be
Gretel
watching this?
began to weep. "Do not fret, Gretel," Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets.
Ugh. I have my window open just like a sliver.
The next morning, the woodcutter
There's a really
leads
cold
the children
breeze
into
blowing the back of
forest.
my neck.
Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day.
Oh, fuck this guy. Look at this guy.
Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while.
Okay, what are
then
you just
follow
doing?
the
Staring me
trail
down,
back
bro?
to their parents' house.
Whatever.
After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. "Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself," the wife told the woodcutter. In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep
What a
into the
terrible
forest
story,
once
too.
again.
Like, you know, give to kids in a theme park.
Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely.
We got a tunnel of tales. What type of story should we do? Oh, I know. Let's do a really terrible, grim, tale where all the kids go in the woods and get eaten.
To find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for
Well, I guess
3
they
days.
beat the witch in this story, don't they? Or is that one of those grim stories that actually had a much more terrible ending and they changed it? I feel like Hansel might have
The
gotten away,
children
but Gretel
stumbled
died
into
a terrible
clearing
death.
with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls. Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is
It's a creepy silhouette.
at my house?
Hey, Mike, we're playing the park, and currently we're just
From the house,
being
sniffing the air
spooked.
and peering around with
Spooks
cloudy
everywhere.
eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you
This was supposed to be a romantic
just
swan
to
ride.
come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you.
They should make a game about what's going on with these clowns.
For the old woman reminded them.
I read something today on Reddit that said there's a
Come, children,
rich villain
don't
trying to
be
become
afraid.
president of the United States and clowns running the streets scaring people. This is a time for Batman to step in. It's like a Batman origin story.
Began to eat. You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside, the old woman urged, and the children.
In the original story, the kids slash her throat open to escape. Oh god. It's good so far. Oh. Eat a dick. Can I turn around?
The old woman changed
I can't look around, so I don't even know what the fuck just hit me.
into a cage. And put
Seven-line
Gretel to
hands
work,
here!
sweeping and
I'm
cleaning
assuming
her
that's,
hut.
Maddie?
Your
Matt?
brother will make a good mouthful.
Hey, Shaggy.
The old witch told Gretel. Once
If
you
we get a Batman,
catch
it's
him
all
up,
worth it, I agree.
I shall feast upon him.
I'm just concerned because I know this game's really short. I don't want it to, like, end at the end of the swan
Time
ride.
passed, and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the
Hey,
day
Matt,
that the witch
you must be
would
just
eat
getting up. Wait,
Which, for her
12
part,
hours. No, it's
grew
like noon there.
impatient. Today, I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven. But Gretel
Great life
pretended
experience. Gotta
not
learn to slash
understand.
throats to get ahead in life. Damn
I
straight.
do not know how. Where is the opening? Fool! The old witch said. The opening is here! And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage,
School
brave
holidays,
Gretel gave the
nice.
witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid
Hey,
a
Kurt.
large iron bolt over the door to the oven.
Yeah, this is impromptu.
Gretel
I'm
freed
glad
her
you all
brother
could make it.
Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled, and the witch was cooked. And then,
Pretty sure this is the slowest
because
part.
even
I don't mind.
children can't survive on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch
Uh-huh.
and ate her.
That's awesome. He's freaking ate the witch. I don't mind this, like, I don't mind, like, slow stuff like that. That's fine. I just want to make sure it's not, like, the end of it. Oh. That's creepy. Sometimes this is important to, like, go real slow, right? Because it starts to get you, like, nervous and freaked out. A roast witch. I think your kid might be dead by now. I'm going with the Lorraine approach, where the kid was already dead. And, like, this is Ghost's dad with Bill Cosby. Now that's a horror game.
Hansel and Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world.
Slow part gets me thinking how it relates to the
Looking
characters.
for our own house made of candy.
Yeah, I'm thinking
for the
like,
sweetness that
oh,
could
let her
take the
finish her
pain away.
talking. She loves talking.
Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws.
All right. I'm thinking that, like, you know, maybe Callum's not her kid at all. Maybe it was like her brother, and they both like got lost, or he died on a ride or something. We passed this House of Horrors, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that because of the kid. But I'm thinking maybe we should go back and like check it out, because if that's like a legit spot, it would probably be pretty fun. See, I'm an idiot because now I'm going back to the thing called House of Horrors, when really I could just keep pressing forward and pretend that I didn't think about going to it.
Callum, where are you?
But you know, that's what I do for you guys.
Come back.
Catch me, Mommy.
Oh, fuck.
Callum, stay where you are.
This way? He keeps like whispering.
Where did you go?
Yeah, I want to see what this is all about. If I can go in here?
Too dark. I'm not going in there without a flashlight.
Oh, okay. So that's a later part of the game, I suppose.
Come back, Callum.
Okay, so we're going the right way then. I think your kid is out looking for some witches to eat. Could be, could be. Bumper cars do bumper cars? Alright, we'll do it. I think we probably will get all of the spots, I hope. Yeah, so we're all psychiatrists and she's about to unload on us. I could see that. So, I just don't think any man wants me. It's just like, I've tried dating 1,000 times and all the men I meet are just not good enough for me. Because I have a son and he needs a new daddy. She's far too nice. She needs the full name in a stern voice. Damn straight. Callum, get your ass back here now. I am leaving. I am too tired for this shit. I will spank your ass raw. Ooh, spooky mist. Magic bus. Oh.
Another accident. This place.
Uh-oh. It's a fucking teddy bear. Got a knife in its eyes. Eye, singular. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. I hope you guys know that I'm picturing this guy as the Jurassic Park dude, which is the director of Gandhi, which is Attenborough. David Attenborough? Richard? One of those two. They're brothers. I will not make mistakes. Very soon I will know if this has all been for nothing. Oh. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon. I'm not truly worried the customers will come out. Simple curiosity. I had to do something. Oh, I should read it, shouldn't I? There's not that much story in this game anyway. John Hammond, yes. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried. The customers will come out of simple curiosity. I decided what was needed from the band writings of Archie Henderson. It's astonishing to think that a resonance of positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make his mistakes. Very soon I will know this has all been for nothing. As John Hammond learned, sometimes mistakes need to be repeated multiple times.
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
Spooky rocks.
I'm not playing anymore, Callum. Callum! Where are you?
Mother duck said quack, 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 quack.
Callum Harlan Guthrie, get back here. Callum Harlan Guthrie, get the hell. Wouldn't that be just it if I named my kid after me? Like verbatim. The people from Fallout staging teddy bears all over the game. Are there teddy bears everywhere? I haven't seen a single one. Am I totally an idiot?
Make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy.
Hey Justin, we did beat Colat. I didn't get the story. What do you mean I didn't get the story? Did you get the story? Because I didn't get the story.
Those poor kids.
Eyewitness report Atlantic Island Park incidents. Officer on duty, Sheriff F. Bannerman. That's Fred Bannerman. The witness name was Norma Creed. Please sign here. Thank you. We were waiting for our turn on the ride. Frank and me and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I've always been a bit weary of those suits. They gave me the creeps. It's silly, I know. Anyways, the chipmunk man, he was carving and picking away at the ice, and at first we thought he was making some sort of animal, like a tiger or a lion or a bear, oh my. But as more and more ice fell away, you know, when you first looked, it was like a human face smiling, you know, a little block of ice. But the more you looked at it, the more you saw that there was something not quite right about the proportion, something unnatural, that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster, like you were prey. And that thing in the ice was the hunter. Yeah, but then these teenagers walked up, and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments, it was chaos. Everybody was running away from the guy. Who had one of those teenagers on the ground, he was stabbing him with the ice pick, and the blood was spraying, and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. And the last thing I saw before Frank dragged me away was that the eyeball, one of those poor kids, had landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive. Weird. To be honest, all I really wanted was to kill a banshee. I don't think anyone got Colat here. Like, maybe if we read every document, we could have gotten it, but I don't think that was my fault. Guessing the end of Colat recreated the murder of the campers from the view of the killer after the player found all the clues and dire interests. Yeah, I kind of figured it was something like that. My thinking, too, was like, it was everything leading up to it. But basically, Sean Bean was like this thing that was experimented on. And then he, like, got out, I guess. and I don't really know. I think Colette's a very cool game. Cool pun, get it? Because it's like ice cold. And it was creepy. But I don't necessarily think it was like a satisfying story. But you know what? A lot of horror games are like that. Like I played Layers of Fear like through and through, and the ending of it had multiple endings, either good or bad, depending on what you did. So Sean Bean was in it, and he didn't die. Although he might have played a dead character, so who knows? Frustrated by the fact that the plans seem incomplete. I know as well as anybody that the rules of the game can be changed with enough money, but no matter how much money talks, it can't conjure up missing plans from thin air. I've tried contacting the organization who sent me those plans, sold me those plans, and they're stonewalling me. Every contact that I had, every meeting place that I have had watched, are swept bare. I have a sinking feeling that I've been swindled. We've gone ahead with what we could find in the plans regardless. The harvesting machines, the transport mechanisms, etc. They'll probably let Nicholas name them something cute for the day we open the park. They will be rides after all. John Hammond, continually trying to make his dream of this park work. Harlan turned him off. Who'd I turn off? Oh, Sean Bean. Yeah, my bad.
I can't get on while it's moving.
Increase speed, decrease speed. Decrease again. Decrease again.
I can't get on while it's moving.
There we go. Oh yeah. Whew, this is fun. See? Even in horror games we could still have fun. This is Six Flags the Game. Welcome to Six Flags the Game. Don't go anywhere. All you have to do is stay home and play it. Oh, Justin, I meant to tell you, this game is by Funcom, and it's apparently associated with the Secret World. Remember? Oh shit! Oh fuck! What is that? That's creepy. Remember the Secret World? This is like apparently one of the parks in the game or something. I think it was Bjorn that was telling me, or maybe Evan. That's creepy. Who is increasing the speed?
Treachery
Where
hides
for
in
art
thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides. The first time I saw Callum,
We played
my
that
thoughts
shit.
betrayed me.
Or shite.
I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum is no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces,
Yeah, I thought you both
one
told me.
treacherous
Okay,
thought
cool.
became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single traitorous thought.
Uh-oh. Am I gonna read that and then a spook is gonna show up? That's my guess. This is a girl. I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of season here really drags. There aren't that many tourists around. And so most of the staff spend their days standing around gossiping. And most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean Steve. See, even I am starting to call him Chad. And I went to school with the guy. It's a goddamn suit. In the beginning, it was a laugh. Steve, the local lush, as Chad, the chipmunk. Child-friendly mascot at Atlantic Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears that suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first it was little things like refusing to change out of the suit when at work, taking it home with him every day. But then I saw him at Susie's Diner still wearing it. And it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained discreetly to park management about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by, and apparently Steve has picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him. Puking up in the gutter outside the cycle station. Because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he makes in the ice, though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me, and he just hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but he seemed like he was just staring at me, sizing me up, eye-fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there, not saying anything. Eventually, I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve, wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Of course. Did I mention I knew that was going to happen? Still kind of creeped me out a bit. Babadook, I haven't seen it yet. You know why? Well, I'll explain why after.
Mommy needs to see you,
Oh,
Callum. No, sweetie.
Oh, Justin's drunk. No, he's just a bit tipsy, I kid. But I liked Secret World like concept. I just hated the gameplay. That's what I was saying to these guys yesterday.
Guess it floats someone's boat.
Bumper cars. Justin and I just do not like MMOs, but the actual like world of the Secret World, I think Justin and I, you and I both agreed was really cool. Like the puzzles and stuff were really, really neat. It was just the whole clicky, pointy MMO nonsense that we hate. And we've tried it. Someone else here mentioned Elder Scrolls Online, waiting for Tamriel, and that's totally cool. But we tried Elder Scrolls. I think Justin even bought it, and again, we could not get into it. I really don't like MMOs.
Hello?
Employee's name Francis Dunfriends. 25th of October 1976. Job title laborer working on the crane. Supervisor Richard Stapleton. Witness Lawrence Creed. Michael Edgeworth. I've already done New York accent. We'll do it again. Brief description of the accident. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the truck, it came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the cars. Francis was killed. Did the injured employee see a doctor? Yes. Did they file or working? Yes. Supervisor's comment. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the load undoing the straps. Nobody else reporting seeing that. The sheriff had requested that Dexter provide him with a urine sample. What could have been done? Double checking the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. Okay. Well, that was creepy, but you know, it is a bumper car. Lane Family Night. Spooky game on the TV and laying in bed. That's awesome. Lane Family Night is something that I want to participate in. So, you know, save me a spot. AC Lane is a lane. That makes a lot of sense. I should have put that together.
Mommy is coming, Callum.
Dissuade them. They have sent an inspector to... Babies?
They've sent an inspector to investigate the accidents at the park. I've given him the grand tour and spoken all about our safety upgrades, but he seems unconvinced. In this case, the park itself is working against me. This down man has become more and more intractable, and the more time he spends in the park. I've offered to pay for his stay in the Overlook Hotel to get him out of here. It seems to have made him even more paranoid. I don't think this man is going to allow my park to stay open. This is a disaster for my ultimate goals. No room on the bed? Fine. Alright, so we can continue this way, but that bumper car was sort of lighting up a little path for us to go. So I'm sort of interested in what that's going to lead us, where that's going to lead us first.
Callum, where did you go?
Justin had first dibs. Alright, Justin. You can actually find the car that went off the rails. This one, you mean? Yeah, that's nice. I figured this was sort of part of the fun. I just didn't know it was a priority. But to me, this is. Justin gets to the foot of the bed, where the Lane dog sleeps. How do you know the Lanes have a dog?
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
This chick sounds like a bad mother. I'm sorry, but she locked her kid in the car or left her kid in the car, and then she got mad at the cop. Okay, so the Ferris wheel is probably where we need to go next. It looks like the bumper car kind of gave us a path because I know the bridge from the Octatron to the Ferris wheel was broken. So, and then we saw the roller coaster, so this is probably the next spot we needed to go anyway. If we go back down that way,
Mommy is coming, Callum.
I'm guessing that it would just be the broken bridge. So let's read this page.
Callum, tell Mommy where you are.
Continued delayed by the incompetence of the builders. The problem is that they are local, so they believe a lot of the rumors about what Old Man Henderson used to do here. They grew up on those tales. Every time a bolt comes loose or a wrench goes missing, these fools are crossing themselves against black magic. Of course, that's why I chose this site over all the other potential Solomon Islands as a nexus for dark energies, and the thought of all that power just dissipating beneath the earth here, it makes my skin crawl. I called in a few favors back in Brooklyn and got someone at the local academy to see if they had any interesting books about local history. Turns out they do, and it turns out that Old Man Henderson was some pretty strong connections to the Brooklyn crowd. Perhaps something you wrote will help me find a piece of the plans I'm missing.
Damn you, John Hammond.
You built a park and you started putting all these rides in and you never stopped to ask why. You were so busy asking yourself if you could that you never asked yourself if you should.
So they are going to close this place down. Doesn't surprise me.
I'm not going to read that one. That one just seems to say close the park. Decrease speed? Yeah. We want to get on. I want to see another creepy head. If you make it Atlanta on Friday you can come to the game night for my birthday. Ooh, that sounds fun. Am I spooked yet? That sort of jump scare with the thing was a bit spooky. But you know, I openly admit that I came to this spook night less spooked. Can I not get on this fucking thing? Oh.
Stay where you are.
So I'm spooked, but I'm not. Oh, look at the guy. There he is. That asshole. I wish we had a lane hedgehog or a turtle. I think that someone's gonna get a turtle or a hedgehog for their birthday. As long as you promise to take care of it. Because here's the thing. They're not going to get you something and then they're the ones that have to feed it. Or they're the ones that have to take care of it. And what happens when you move out and go off to college? You know, if that turtle lasts, are they going to take care of it? Or are you going to bring it with you? You know, these are the things we got to worry about, guys.
After that, he mostly just drank.
Oh.
Things were different for Don and I. When we met, I was sweeping the floor at Susie's diner. He came in with some workers, but he didn't try to flirt or cop a feel like the others. He just ordered a coffee and sat there, watching me. When my shift was over, he offered to walk me home. I don't know how to describe that walk. We talked and laughed and eventually kissed. It felt like love. It felt like a fairy tale. I can't tell you if Callum was made that night or one of the ones that followed. But I think it has to be that night. That one perfect night. Don and I moved in together, but then, well, he died. According to the supervisor, his safety harness failed when he was working on the top of the Ferris wheel. Don was there one moment, and then gone. Sometimes people leave your life for no reason. I was 3 months pregnant with Callum. Fairy tale fucking over.
Can we just point out how irresponsible this woman is? Her child is missing, so she's walking around the park, and instead she goes, "Hey, let's ride all these rides. Like, hey, maybe he's at the top. Oh, maybe he's at the top of the Ferris wheel, right? So like we'll have to ride that, or maybe she just wanted to ride it." Terrible mother. Oh, shift is click. I don't have to hold it down. Fair enough. College is only 2 years away. Harlan hit it on the head. See? And not even 2 years. Oh, Abby, you're going to make her cry. Because she's going to miss you so much. Let me tell you a story. Miss... Oh. Oh, man. I dodged that bullet. So yeah, here's the nail in the coffin of pets ownership. Just because, you know, who doesn't
idolize their children? You hear them talking about their kids and just the way they talk, their fucking voices make me want to vomit. My angel likes to read, and little Johnny is so good on the piano. Fuck those people.
Whoa.
You give up 9 months of your life carrying them, you traumatize yourself giving birth to them, and then you spend the rest of your life as their slave. Wiping asses, mopping up piss, feeding them. Little life-sucking monsters who take and take and take until... we all go insane. Any parent who pretends otherwise is just dishonest. That's called choice supportive bias. I am honest. Callum really grinds my gears, and he owes me everything. Everything. It served the little fuck right if I just abandoned him.
Wow. This is like, guys, this is like mirroring the chat. And then they ask for a pet. Oh man. Here was my final thoughts on the pet thing, because that's why we come to the thing, right? Sorry, Abby, I'm not ganging up on you. I just want to tell you a story of my sister. My younger sister, loves pets. She loves pets, adores pets, wanted to be a vet when she grew up. So she asked my parents for a dog, and she begged them for a dog, and she got a dog. And that dog was her favorite thing when she wanted it to be. And I'm not in any way comparing you to her, because I don't know you. I'm sure you're much more responsible. But my parents walked that dog up until the day that dog passed away. And she loved it, and she cried when the dog passed. But my parents took so much care of it. And now my sister has a turtle and a bunny. And the bunny lives with her and her boyfriend. I will give her that. But that turtle sits in a case at my parents' house, and they have to feed it, and they have to change its water, and they have to do everything for it. And my sister, to this day, I'll be like, yo, man, turtles are sweet, but you shouldn't have, you maybe shouldn't have got... Oh, she was... I don't know. Justin, how old was Julie when we got Julie? We got Julie at... Oh, man, how old was she? 2005? 10 years ago? So she was like 18, maybe? Or no, not that long ago. She was like 15 to 18, I think. And Julie died maybe 2 years ago.
Where are you? Callum!
The thing is, I think when you're like really passionate about pets, the problem is like you want them all. And the best thing I can recommend is
What do you want?
get...
We need to talk about Callum.
What?
What do you mean? What have you done to him?
Oh.
Oh. That's insulting. You and your boy are everything that this place doesn't want. The antithesis of what we stand for.
Where is Callum?
The poor child. He tried so hard to do what he was taught. He even left you a trail of breadcrumbs. But the park is just so hungry.
Tell me where my son is.
The witch has him now. Has both of you. No happy ending here, I'm afraid.
Just leave me alone.
Fool. You always were.
I don't know if he's the seat or he's just right behind the seat. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Ooh. Oh. Oh, twist. Delivery room? Oh. Not safe. Can taste your... What? Oh, God. Man, that was intense. Anyway, yeah, watch Pet Sematary. Don't worry, that's the end of my unrequested advice. By the way, Pet Sematary, probably one of the most frightening scenes, like, out of any movie, is that scene. If you've seen Pet Sematary, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that scene when she's talking about her, like, sister, and she's got, like, some crazy disease, and her, like, face is all gaunt, and she's telling the story about how she, like, wanted her sister to die. And, no, we're not gonna talk about it. It works! The calculations and adjustments worked. The transport and storage mechanisms seemed to be flawless. What a wonderful day. If only these people knew what they were fueling. And so what if a few people leave the park at the end of the day feeling dour? So what if the children are more scared than excited on the roller coaster? This could be the doorway to immortality. And such doorways open only to those who have the will to find the key. So John Hammond's a psycho. That's not new. Yeah, you know what scene I'm talking about, Lorene. It's the I don't know what disease she has. It's the one with her sister, and she's like, my sister, I wanted my sister to die, and she died. You love that scene in Up? You love that scene when the house is lifted? Justin, you're so freaking cute.
The witch awaits.
Alright, you know what? We're gonna Kevin Callister this shit.
I'm not playing anymore, Callum! Callum has bruises on his arms, finger marks. Someone has been hurting him.
It's you.
I've asked him, demanded really, to know where he got the marks. But he doesn't want to answer me. Something has scared him into silence. He doesn't dare talk. He's been changing too. Something sinister lurks in the darkness behind his eyes. I catch him staring at me at odd moments. In the night, he tosses and turns and cries out words that I cannot understand. When I try to soothe him, he snaps and bites at my fingers. I think he wants to talk to me. I think he wants to tell me. But they are watching him every minute of every day. They are whispering to him in his sleep, changing him. They are taking my baby away from me. I can save him. There will be pain. But I love him, and in the end, he will understand why.
Justin's wasted. Nah, he's good. Teen speak. You watched Star Wars 7? Nice. Nice. Now, see, a game like this is like the perfect amount of scary because I'm not like terrified to go any further, but I guess that's pretty fun.
The whole town was shocked by that one. Never found out who did it.
Cotton candy corpse leaves sour taste in park goer's mouth.
Yesterday evening, visitors to Atlantic City Park were shocked and horrified to discover the dismemberment.
Oops. Oh. Damn it. I don't get to try out my newspaper voice. Damn it. Oh well. Something about cotton candy. Can I crouch? Can't even crouch. Oh. Cotton candy. Something sounds like it's running. Oh, this guy's had some bad diarrhea. I know that feeling.
Poor bastard. Who did this to him? Callum, where are you?
Alright, let's turn around now. Nope. Too easy. You gotta work for my spooks. Ooh, do you think Callum is like Steve grown up? Take pills? Yeah, that's what we need.
These are mine.
What? Oh, does anyone get what drug that was? What? Whose daughter's hot? But wait, whose daughter's hot? Oh man, not safe. The League. Your mother? Say no to graffiti. Some kids laugh and some kids cry, but mostly children simply die. That's dark. All that you love will be carried away. 1980s. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Regan, 1980. Don't believe anything they tell you. Fear the boogeyman. Stop picking your nose then. That's good. Ah. Where did this come from? Should we go back to the candy? Ooh. Yeah, strike. Yeah, now let's check you out. Explosive diarrhea. My ass, literally.
Forgive me, Callum.
What's this guy? Turn around? Okay.
Forgive me, Callum.
Is this like an OD? I feel like this is like an OD.
Don't leave me here, Callum.
Don't touch me.
She's obviously a terrible mother that like hit. Oh, we can read it again. Oh, but it's a different article. Future times. Belly button is the signature of your personal creator. I believe her name was Mama. Every 17 child is a magnet for awfulness made omniscient by broken fires in the coastal strain. We don't believe that the earth belongs to battered goats and shamrock afterbirth. Only the truly naked. Yeah, I was like, why is it so difficult to read that? And I realized it's fucking gibberish. Callum, I'm coming.
Don't leave me here, Callum.
Callum,
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Okay, no.
If you want to kill yourself, there's a better way. That's dark. Oh, and there's supposed to be a what? What strange trip it's been. She's tripping balls. It's called Wrecking for a Dream. Oh, and there was supposed to be a child corpse behind the cotton candy shack. Turning into a tiger. There was supposed to be a child corpse? Says who? Like, when you played it? Should we go back? Excuse me. I'm telling you to cut your wrists. You go down the street, not across it. Here we go. This is what we were going to read. Yesterday evening, visitors to Atlantic Island Park were shocked and horrified to discover a dismembered corpse behind the cotton candy stand. According to the local authorities, the corpse is yet to be identified. However, they have confirmed it remains to appear to be those of a child. Oh, you're right, yeah. The corpse was discovered by a group of teenagers from Innsmouth Academy. Ooh, Cthulhu boys. Who noticed a pair of ravens tugging at something just out of sight behind the shack. Nathaniel Winter, the owner of the Atlantic Island Park, has released the following statement. It is a true tragedy that when something like this happens, especially in a place where it's designed to bring youth happiness and joy, the staff of Atlantic Island Park offer their condolences to the family and friends of the victims and will cooperate fully with authorities to help bring the case to rest. The Solomon Chronicle will provide daily updates on the story going forward. Sleeping with one eye open, holding my pillows, night. Yeah, it's super appropriate to lead articles
Park is a collage of contradictions all of its own. Millions of people die every year in car crashes. And the park has little cars designed specifically to simulate that action. Hear the children scream with joy. In the sideshow alley, you can walk away with 15 cents worth of mass-produced Chinese teddy bears, while a grinning carny pockets your hard-earned $5. And what secrets lie beneath the sullen waters of the lake? The tears of jilted lovers, the soiled condoms of illicit affairs, the clotted blood of the lonely suicide. And the face of the witch looms over it all. I've always despised her toothy grin and warty nose. I hate that sparkle in her weathered, watchful eyes. I think Callum is waiting for me. Inside.
Well, we knew it would end here. So, that's it. Good night, guys. Have it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. Well, that was unexpected. Could you imagine if that was the ending? Thank you for playing the park. If you'd like to finish, pay $5.99. Oh, this is like.
What have you done with him?
Okay, predictions before we continue. I know some of you played it, so Evan, you're not allowed to offer opinions. My bet, obviously she's abused him. Obviously she's like drugged out. I'm thinking, I don't know if she killed the kid. That seems like really, really harsh. I'm thinking maybe like she abused the kid and he got taken away. And no, I don't know. I gotta say that the kid died through negligence. I'm thinking like, you know, like in what's it called? No, like, you know, in what the hell is that fucking movie? The heroin movie, Trainspotting. You know, in Trainspotting, how that kid dies. I think it's sort of like that. And she killed herself because of it. That's my guess. Done. Atlantic Island Park has closed its gates. A jeering throng of townfolk gathered as we hung the heavy iron padlock on the gates. Small-minded fools scared of what they don't understand. My machines lie silent and dejected, but I am not beaten. I have sent my wife and son back to Boston. I have retreated here to the House of Horrors. I must think. The boogeyman government took them away? The rotted man? Let's just see what kind of books they got here. Yes, I love these nondescript leather-bound books. They're the best to read. Shutter Island was a great read. I read that book. I just wanted to say that, really. I just wanted to share that I read that book because I don't read often. And I felt it was important to say that I read it. That's about it. Oh. What is that? A Nazi with two nail guns and a gas mask? I don't know why Nazi. Maybe the helmet. How does the chipmunk play in? Well, I guess I'm thinking like... Ooh, hey, lady. I'm thinking the chipmunk is like the energy, because obviously he built this on like a Indian burial ground of sorts. Not really, but like, for lack of a better term, an Indian burial ground. And like, I guess the chipmunk dude was sort of ingested with the monster stuff. Alright, I'm getting a bit freaked out. I'd say the spooky meter is at about a 6 out of 10. Maybe 7. No, 6. 7. 7.5. 7.6. 7.7. 7.8. 7.8. 7.7. 7.6. Okay, back to just 7. I won't give decimals. Didn't it come in that way? Do I just leave? Is this where it came in? Oh no, maybe not. Oh, I don't know why I thought it was. Spooky meter's at an 8. I'll bump it up a whole integer. You know. All new spookier now with 10% more flashlight. Oh, look at this mirror. It's on an angle. Yeah, what you gonna do? I think his spook meter was for the park. He said that I read Shutter Island. Yeah, I read Shutter Island. Not the park. Spooky meters for the park. Shutter Island was good. But yeah, the ending... Well, again, that's what I was saying. The novel was less predictable. Not that I want to ruin anything, but Shutter Island is a good read. Dennis Lehan, the guy who did Gone Girl. 9 on the spooky meter. Solid 9. Solid, strong 9. Robust 9. 9 with a little bit of cream sauce on it. Oh, well, what's that? That's... Oh, fucking 10, no, 9. 9.4. Seven. I don't know why, but that dude does not freak me out. I think it's because they show too much of him. Like, if he was just sort of like a figure, I don't know, maybe I'd be a bit more afraid of him. But, you know, a 7. Nightmare Circus by Fairncom. I'm guessing that's Funcom, the makers of the game. Oculus was an interesting movie. Not real scary, but I like the Oculus. The man with the plan better. The short Oculus. The man with the plan. Oculus. I don't think I watched Oculus. How do I turn this around? Oh, you're off, Aisha? Good night. This might only be over, but if you want to leave, I understand. She's more creepy than the top hat is. Who's she? I missed that. The girl from Oculus? I don't think I watched Oculus. I love these books. They change every time you read them. Really? A circus burns to the ground on opening night, killing dozens. The owner is put to death by an enraged mob of townsfolk. Just as he shouts out a curse, now Raven, a dark soul wanderer, comes to the ruins at dusk to search his missing mother. Let the show begin. That's a really confusing plot.
After they let me out, gave me Callum back and sent me home with a handful of breadcrumbs. Home, bittersweet home. I barely recognized it.
Hunger, the true story of
Donner.
Donner.
There had been color and light,
Donner Party.
or shadows and regrets. Where there had been warmth, there was a bone-deep coldness that never went away.
You better like this video,
I
Justin.
tried my hardest to keep the ghosts at bay. Don, watching from the dusty corners while I tried to teach his son to read. My father, coldly assessing me and finding me lacking. I devoted myself to Callum, did the things that they told me. It will get better, they said. Every day will be a little better than the last.
The Dunwich Power Company.
Now. Lost and afraid. Things never got any better.
So I'm guessing she just really didn't want to be a mother, and then she killed herself, went to the hospital, came out, and then just, I guess, fucked it all up. That's why the shirt was cool, because it had more backstory about the mirror. Was this Oculus? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I did see Oculus. Was that with the girl? And it starts off and she calls the guy over to the house, and she like has this mirror and she like tracked it down. Like, it starts off almost like halfway through a horror movie, because she's like, I've done all the research and this mirror is frozen, and like she like sets up this trap that like at midnight, if no one resets the dial, it's gonna like fall and smash the mirror. And the trick was like the mirror was gonna do anything to try to not kill itself. Was that the movie, or am I thinking of like a totally different movie? The Wilting. Yep, that was the movie? Okay. You know what? I like that movie. I hated the ending. I thought the ending was total cop-out. Because, like, you get this character who's, like, being so smart about it. Well, I'm not going to ruin it, but it's just... it just went. It started off like not okay. Here I'm gonna rant for a second. Not really a rant, just sort of a thing. Huge horror movie fan. I've seen like 90% of the horror movies we've talked about on here. Clearly, because I didn't even remember this one. I love when horror movies throw me for a loop. Like they kind of start going the regular direction and then they switch it. I really disliked that horror movie with, oh my god, what is his name? He's one of my favorite actors. The dude from Training Day. Not Denzel, the other dude. Ethan Hawke. I did not like the movie with Ethan Hawke. It was called, oh my god, I saw it in the theater. I don't know, stupid. Because it set up this whole like interesting storyline, and then he totally fucked it up by being an idiot. Because they followed the same cliche. It really pissed me off. Movies I love are the ones that like take the classic thing and switch it. Prime example, Devil's Chair. Justin hit the nail on the fucking head. Devil's Chair is such a good horror movie. Second example, and a way more popular one, is Insidious. I loved Insidious because, and here's exactly why. If you haven't seen it, this doesn't ruin it. The whole beginning of Insidious is like a classic horror movie. And the thing in that horror movie that they never do is, in every horror movie, you know, there's like, it was Sinister. Yeah, Sinister I hated. I couldn't stand it because of the ending, and I'll explain why after. But Insidious like had this first half where you're like, oh yeah, everything's spooky and da-da-da. And then they did the horror cliche where the wife runs to the husband. It's like, I want to leave. I don't want to stay here. This house is haunted. Something's wrong. And in any other horror movie that we've seen, he would be like, no, we bought the house. We're going to stay here. They even do it in The Conjuring, which I did like. But, you know, no, we can't afford a new house. We have to stay here. And you're like, I always roll my eyes. I'm like, oh, how convenient for the horror movie that they can't leave the haunted house. Like, just get out. Like, how hard is it? Like, go stay at your neighbor's house or some shit. But Insidious, everything was like leaning up to like, oh, you know, the haunted house. And then she's like, I want to leave. And he's like, done. And then like halfway through the movie, they don't just move to another house. They move back to their original house, a house that they were at for like 9 years, where like everything was safe and happy and good. So like, and that totally threw me for a loop. And I love that. I love when movies are like, oh, here's all the cliches. And then someone does a cliche and they're like, yeah, okay, no, we won't do it. Don't worry about it. To me, that made me feel so much better. But Oculus, they did everything sort of like the way they should. I remember her like starting off being really clever. She's like, oh, I'm going to outsmart the mirror and I have all this shit like done. Like it started halfway through the movie. I'm like, this is great. And then it started off in the room, and most of the movie took place in like one room in front of the mirror, which was great. I thought that was really cool. And then they fucked it up with the ending because it ended just like every other stupid horror movie where the bad guy gets you, blah, 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 blah. That was my issue with Sinister too. Sinister had a great mystery, and it's like slowly started unraveling it, and you got Ethan Hawke sort of like figuring it out, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is cool. And then it just went, fuck you, we'll just make a regular horror movie because you haven't had enough of those. It's like, you know, you need another horror movie where the thing you expect to happen happens exactly the way you think it would. Devil's Chair, if you ever want to see a movie that plays with the horror cliches and does it brilliantly, watch the movie Devil's Chair. It's one that Justin recommended. However, if you watch Devil's Chair, and this is so important, watch the entire movie. Do not stop at any point. It's so important to do that, and I'll explain to you why if you want, but I'll just say that for now. Shopping list: milk, cheese, bread, butter, corn, potatoes, apple, fish sticks. Remember to drop off Callan electricity bill and fix the faucet. So here's the thing: the faucet's not fixed, the electricity bill's not paid even, and I'm guessing she didn't drop off Callan. She's a terrible mother. Ew, raw chicken?
Give it to me!
Never put raw chicken. Guys, don't ever do that. That's so dangerous. It's disgusting, especially with fruit right below it. Look at that. Guys, come on. It's just terrible. Why didn't I watch The Babadook? I'll explain after. Remind me. Please explain what, Matt? Miss Maillard. Maillard? As agreed in our meeting today, we consider you fully recovered from your illness. This is official notification that you're considered sound mind, body, and returning to work. You should. So she was lazy. Lorraine. Oh shit. Lorraine. I received your letter, and I am quite surprised. You ran off with your father all of those years ago, then disappeared off the edge of the map. And then, when I finally tracked you down, refused to answer any of my letters. And now you write me asking for help? Oh, this is a girl. I have another family now and another life. Your father was a horrible man. I regret the years that I wasted with him. I loved you. I truly did. But every year you grew more and more like him. You were his girl, never really mine. Still, I would have fought for custody if you hadn't run away with him. It broke my heart, but I needed to go on living. I can't let you back into my life without picking open old wounds. I'm sorry, Lorraine, but I just can't do it. Maybe one day it'll be easier, and I can meet Callum, but not yet. I'm not ready to forgive you. Please don't contact me again. Pew. That's the whole point. You have no idea if the son was completely fucked up due to killing his father, or just his mother or father both crazy. Is that Oculus? Or is that Sinister? I don't remember that plot. I don't remember that part. Please explain about the Devil's Chair. Oh, he wants you to explain why you have to watch it in one sitting. Well, I can't explain it without ruining the movie. So if you want me to ruin the movie, I can. But Oculus, that was the mother-father thing? I don't know. I thought it was a cop. Well, I don't. Maybe it wasn't a cop out. I wanted to see a horror movie that played with the cliche and like surprised me. And I was like, well, any other horror movie can end the way that a horror movie's going to end, and that one did. And I just wish it did it differently. Same with Sinister, actually. They both had let-down endings. I kind of would have liked to see some sort of satisfaction and then maybe a turn at the end rather than just a nope, you screwed up. Lorraine seems to be suffering from depression. That's the gist of that. Attorney at law. Primary registered state were listed as Rose Williams. So her father died and she didn't get anything. Here we go. Well, I don't mind telling you why you need to watch it in one sitting. Just let me know, like... Okay, I'll tell you. I guess I won't ruin it, but it's important. Oh. What's this? Does it say what this is? I don't see it anywhere on there. Is this where she's like getting worse? Lorraine, things aren't right between us at the moment. I know I want to try and explain it. I think it's because I'm so far from home and I'm working so hard. Every day working at the park, it gets worse. It's like a spring inside my mind, winding tighter and tighter. Yo, her kid is that dude. When we go for drinks after work, it gets a little better. The guys relax and we laugh and we're really good people again. I don't want to come home to you without being in my right mind. Or is this the husband? Oh, it's the husband that died. Yeah, think about the names for the boy. It's Kyan for a boy. Emma for a girl. Oh shit. See that kid in the fucking doorway? What's on the shopping list now? Zoloft? Is this chicken all fucked up now? Yeah, look at this. What did I say, guys? You don't leave raw chicken. The sink is still not fixed. Lorraine, get your shit together.
Leave me alone!
I didn't run away. Dad took me.
What have you done with them?
Thank you, William, for the new watch. It's very nice. It made me happier. Carrot. So this is like her life getting shit. pills, too. Is that blood? Zoloft, more pills. Ticket to the park. Yeah. Chicken's not even in there anymore. Oh, my wife's moving through the house. It's freaking me out. At 1 in the morning? God, go to bed. I didn't run away, that took me.
Who was that? Don't leave me.
Oh, that looks like the Babadook thing. What the fuck? What would even motivate you to do that? Hey, let's hang dolls from the ceiling. Just get really fucked up. I guess if you like wanted your kid to die. Me and Donald? My two best friends, Dawn and Laura. My two best friends? Ice pick. Yeah, yo, that fucking dude. Remember he said he ripped something.
Show yourself.
Oh shit. 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 I wish I could crouch, man. That dude in the chipmunk's costume, like it said he stabbed a bunch of people, right? So maybe this is like where'd the Rubik's Cube go? I don't know, man. I ain't sticking around here. Okay, this part's up to like a 9. This is pretty creepy. Not enjoying this like PT demo type shit where you keep walking through the same area. That's what PT did and it freaked me the fuck out. What the fuck? Is the chicken at least alright? Oh man. Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, I'm not stopping anymore. What was in the oven? No, I'm not going. I get that it's like afternoon for you, Matt, but for me it's like Spook City. Population just me and my wife, who's now turned off the light to the bedroom.
Stories are told again and again, and from their shape we build our understanding of the world. 2 children are led into the woods. They are lost for a time, but then are captured by an old witch. The child goes missing in Atlantic Island Park. He wanders lost for a time before finding his way into the mouth of an old witch. In the oldest version of this story, the mother and the witch were the same person. I never wanted to be the witch, but I am, aren't I?
Hansel and Gretel. You are wearing headphones. Yeah, but you're like oh, cutscene.
Callum, Cal?
Huh.
Callum. Callum. Callum.
Oh, shit. Ugh. Now, my friends, is why you do not get pets. No turtles, no hamsters, no chipmunks.
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time.
Would she lose her mind? Hedgehogs are cool. You can do that.
Take a deep breath and think about the last place you saw your son.
Is her necklace an axe? I just saw that for a second. Looks like a little axe.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Weird. Interesting. So, okay, obviously she didn't take care of the kid at all. And in her mind, she's in the park, so it's obviously her, like, way to cope. Yeah, I guess, but, okay, so here's my logic. Yeah, she killed her son, right? That, to me, makes sense. But then I don't understand the end scene where he's like, don't worry, you all lose things. So, like, did she go to the dude pretending that she lost her son? I'm not sure I get quite that scene. If it ended with her, like, in a cell, that'd make a bit more sense. She lost him according to the detective, and we didn't see the kid was under the ice pick. She killed her kid because the mom didn't want her. And she said she worked at the park, and maybe my dad. And now I'm appreciative of my mom, and maybe my dad. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I kind of figured there'd be a more concrete interpretation, but I suppose this is just sort of that type of interpretation. Oh, wait. Maybe there's an after credits scene where Samuel Jackson comes up to her and recruits her. Listen, I'm putting together a team, and I need you, Lorraine. Someone who can take drugs and hate children. Call you the Widowmaker. I'm pressing to return to the menu. Fair enough. Thanks for watching along, Matt. To answer the questions real quick. Why... Turn this down so I can think. There we go. Let's turn it to 1 so it's not completely silent, because that'd be weird. The why to watch The Devil's Chair and why it toyed with your emotions, or why I toyed with my emotions. The Devil's Chair is a horror movie that came out like within the last 5 years, and I said to watch it entirely in one sitting. And the reason I said to watch it entirely in one sitting is because the movie gets worse, like a lot worse. And if you watch that movie and you don't finish it, and you maybe stop, even say 10 minutes before the end, it's a garbage movie. Because it's about this guy who goes to like... I won't say the story, but the movie is designed to essentially be an entire... not a prank, but like it's got a twist ending. But the twist ending is so important to watch, because if you don't get there, it's a garbage movie. And I showed it to my sister, the same sister that I was talking about earlier, who she was like, oh, I want to watch a horror movie. I was like, wait, watch The Devil's Chair. And I was like, but just make sure you watch it to the end. And she was like, okay. And then I texted her the next day, and she was like, oh, I watched that movie, by the way. It was awful, stupid movie. And I said, did you watch it to the end? She goes, no, I couldn't even get through it. And I was like, you have to watch it to the end. It's a very unique movie because it's sort of meta. It plays with itself, and I don't want to ruin it for you, but about like 20 minutes to the end, it gets pretty garbage, and you're like, what is going on with this movie? It's stupid. And then the last 5 minutes totally blow your freaking mind. I literally stood up. I was watching it at home. My wife was asleep next to me, and when it got to the ending, I like stood up from the couch. I was like, what? Now, I'm not trying to oversell it. In general, it's just a good movie. It's a great example of what I was saying earlier, how movies sort of play with your expectations, I suppose. That my favorite horror movies are the movies that set in one direction and then, do the opposite. I enjoy seeing movies that genuinely make me go, okay, that's unexpected. I've spoken a lot lately about a movie called Green Room, which I could also argue is a great horror movie. And I highly recommend that one because it also plays with your expectations. You kind of expect this person to do this at this time, and they didn't. It was completely new. And I love fresh concepts. I find, especially with movies nowadays, they can reuse a lot. I mean, you can see movies that take place in the same town and all that kind of shit. That never bothers me. It's really the concepts and the stories that they follow that I want to see fresh. Like, you can have a bank robbery movie, but I want to see something like totally unique and new once they leave that bank or something like that. Like that's what makes me interested. Movies I can't predict. It is worth checking out. And now, Lorraine, to answer your question, why haven't I watched The Babadook? From what I read about The Babadook, and I downloaded it and I started watching it. How can I put this delicately? How can I put this in a way that it's... The horror element is about dealing with... You know what? Actually, I can't really explain it, to be honest. Let's just say The Babadook will be a movie that I'll watch at some point. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, no. It's a weird thing to go into. I'll just say that the themes of The Babadook were something that I didn't want to deal with just yet. And that's a really vague answer, but in like 2 or 3 months you'll all figure it out. No, it's not worth going into. Anyway, that was The Park. This was actually a really great recommendation, Evan and Bjorn, if you guys are watching, or if Bjorn is watching this later. This was a fun one. I was down for this. This actually was really neat. It wasn't overly scary, but it ramped up near the end. I got to give it that. It had a few jump scares, but jump scares are kind of cheap anyway, so I'm glad that it had a little bit more. So well done. Curious if you did the movie immersion challenge. No, I have no idea what that is. What's the movie immersion challenge? Is it as simple as it sounds? Just immersing yourself in a movie? I'm Googling it right now, but on my phone. Movie immersion challenge. We'll see if it refreshes before my phone gets there. Movie immersion challenge. I don't see anything coming up. No, that works for Babadook. Explain. No, that works for Babadook. Explain. I don't know what that means. But I don't know what the movie immersion challenge is. I think it's probably an immersive experience, if that's what you're getting at. It's 1:18. Still not that tired, but let's see what extras gives us. Oh, Secret World. I do have Secret World. It comes from Welcome to the Basement, where you watch the same movie 5 days in a row and see how your opinion changes from before and after. Hey, that's a really cool idea. So you watch it 5 days in a row. I wonder what movie I'd pick. I guess a horror movie is kind of like important, because I think horror movies are sort of... The thing I love about horror movies is they're the most sacrificial of the genres. And that sort of goes to what I was saying about Devil's Chair. Devil's Chair is a movie that like sacrifices 90% of its story for one sort of scary twist, you know? So like I love the idea that in horror movies they'll sacrifice a character you might love, they'll sacrifice a story trope you might love, they'll sacrifice a plot point you might love. So it's fantastic to see that in a genre. That's sort of why I respect horror so much. One of the things I get so tired with movies is, as I was just saying, is sort of like those same cliche sort of tropes. I don't necessarily dislike, you know, a story that I like. Sometimes it's safe and comfortable to just sit there and kind of watch a movie. But when I'm unexpected, when I'm sort of like, I have no idea where this movie's going. Like, I have no idea. That's when I'm most excited to watch a movie. And the movies I enjoy, good or bad, are the ones that sort of left me, or that surprised me, I should say. Like, that I didn't know where they were going. Love to see an opinion on a movie you dislike. I dislike tons, man. There's like tons of movies I dislike. I'll think of one like now, and I'll tell you in a second. Our other daughter with autism does that all the time. Oh, watches movies on like repeat. That's awesome. I think that I really like that idea, actually. I think I should do that. I don't want to do it to a movie I already like, because I think I might dislike it by the 5th viewing. But it's got to be a deep movie too, right? Like, it can't be something like, I don't know, Armageddon or something, where it's like okay movie, but by the 5th watching you just like hate it. I think it'd be funny to see the gang roleplay Dead by Daylight. Is that that's that like co-op monster game, right? Actually, I think I told the guys to get that, but I don't think they wanted to get it right just yet. Good, funny, scary movie is Behind the Mask of Leslie Vernon. Yes. I don't think I've seen that, but I know I've seen the cover. I know it popped up on like my to watch list at one point, and I know it's a documentary or like a mockumentary, so I think I might watch it. Zombievers. I've never seen Zombievers. It sounds Canadian. I mean, with the movie Immersion Challenge. Oh, you see, love to see the opinion on a movie I dislike with the... I see what you're saying. Well, I don't know if I'd watch a movie 5 times if I didn't like it. If I hated the movie, I guess. But maybe that's the point. I guess you're supposed to. Is that? Or maybe that's the point. Maybe I missed that. Watch a movie you dislike 5 times. But then you're just watching a movie you dislike 5 times. That sucks. That's like getting your eyes poked out. There's some hyperbole for you. Watching a movie you dislike 5 times is as equal to getting your eyes poked out. I'm sure someone who actually had their eyes poked out would slap me for saying that. It's not even the fucking same thing. What are you talking about? No, but that's an interesting one. So what would be a bad movie I'd watch 5 times? Because you know what? Admittedly, there are movies that I dislike that I honestly think I disliked because of why I think when I watched it. I think I was in probably a shitty mood when I started watching it. So I'd probably pick a movie that I felt had value, but I just didn't enjoy it, and give that 5. And I have one in mind that I'm thinking right now, but it's always polarizing, so I might not mention it. Pick Fifth Element, watch it 5 times, love every minute of it. That sounds like a damn win. Thoughts on Ex Machina? I was actually pleased with the end because it wasn't atypical. Totally agreed. And you know what? There's a prime example. That movie was great because, you know, you kind of think who the main character is in that movie, Like the first time you watch Ex Machina, you're like, oh, the main character is the redhead guy, Domhnall Gleeson, and you're like, oh, yeah, this guy. But it's not. And again, without ruining anything, the main character of that movie is the girl, and she's the one you're rooting for, really, and that she's the person you should be rooting for. So it's interesting too how this is a weird one too. How different genders respond to Ex Machina, because I watched it with my wife in the theater, and I came away being like, oh man, that's a downer ending, and she came away with, what are you talking about? That's a great ending. She was like, it was a happy ending, and I was like, really? That to me that seemed like a loss. So it's just interesting how that movie sort of polarizes people. Maybe you may misinterpret plot points, or maybe a weird situation. Maybe I may misinterpret plot points, or maybe a weird situation. Is this in reference to Sinister? I missed that. Tooth Fairy 5 times, no schmanks. The horror Tooth Fairy one. Oh, Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls, I think, is what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure that was the Tooth Fairy. I watched that movie when it like first came out, and I remember thinking it was creepy, but now it probably it's dumb if I watched it again. By the way, you have to do it by yourself. Well, that's watch a movie 5 times by yourself. Oh, 5 days. Yeah, I guess that's all right. Tooth Fairy with Dwayne Johnson, which I loved. It's hilarious. Tooth Fairy with Leo the Killer Guy. No, pass. The guys in Welcome to the Basement did it with Mac and Me. He was so upset afterwards. Welcome to the Basement. Oh, this is a show that did it. Mac and Me. I remember watching once. It was like it's like the little alien that comes down to Earth. I think I rented it like twice as a kid. And as a kid, you sort of love movies, and you don't really like, your quality gauge as a kid is so small. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really care. You could watch a movie 1,000 times and then realize it sucks. And there's something I've been doing lately where I've been rewatching movies I loved at one point, where I'm like, oh man, I really wish I appreciated this as much. So I'm going back and I'm like watching movies that I loved at one point to see if they hold up. Like, do they hold up? And I gotta say, Mac and Me does not hold up. It's a garbage movie. But you know what does hold up? And it's a really weird one. It's a movie called Spaced Invaders. Spaced with a D, Invaders. And it's amazing. It's one of the best Halloween-ish horror, not really horror, it's like a kid's movie, movies ever. I'll get back to it in a second, because it's really funny. I'll tell you the plot in a second, but I want to read these other comments. Such deep conversation at Spooky Game Night. Who knew? Damn straight, Mrs. Lane and daughter Lane and Mr. Lane. So we do. We all hang out, we chat, we do the fun stuff. What if you did it with the Clue movie, where there's a lot of different endings? Oh my god, I love the Clue movie. The Clue movie is like one of, I don't want to say one of the best movies. Talking about movies that hold up, though, that movie holds up so well. You could put it in a theater nowadays, and while the cast is like, Tim Curry now looks terrible, but that is such a good movie, and it holds up so well. It's hilarious and interesting, and it's totally up my alley. I love murder mystery movies in general. There's another one like that. Oh, it slips my mind now. It's older. Peter Sellers, I think, was in it. I can't remember, but I love those types of movies. Deep thoughts with Harlan. Deep thoughts with all of us, guys. I'd rather watch My Favorite Martian with Christopher Lloyd 5 days in a row. My Favorite Martian. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you're like a silver suit, and he feigned to Earth. Wasn't that a remake of a TV show? My Favorite Martian. That sounds so familiar. Murder by Death. That's it. Murder by Death. Frickin' fantastic movie. Pagemaster I own, and I watched it, and it was good. I don't remember anything beyond that. It did hold up as well, yeah. I remember this one, Macaulay Culkin. It's like cartoons, half of it. Did you watch Gone Girl with your wife as well? Curious the gender dynamic, whatever. She read Gone Girl, actually. She read Gone Girl, and we watched it together in the theater. and she loved it. But you know, when you go see a movie with with someone who read the book, it's like a different experience, first off, because, and prime example in both of these scenarios is I read The Martian, and then we saw The Martian with Matt Damon, and then she read Gone Girl, and we saw Gone Girl. And like, when you read a book and you see the movie, it's sort of, I don't know, unfair. Like, because first off, there's like this weird thing when you read a book. You feel sort of like this, not entitlement, but like this sort of like, what's the word? You feel accomplished, right? And that's a good feeling. And don't get me wrong, because reading is so important, and reading is fantastic, and you should. But at the same time, I think when you're seeing a movie with someone who's read the book, they sort of have this, like, you walk into the theater and you're kind of like, this wasn't right, that was wrong, they didn't do this right, they didn't do that, this, and it kind of like, you know, it can kind of taint your experience. Now, my wife is fantastic. She did not do that with Gone Girl at all. She, very minimally, she was like, oh yeah, it was very similar to the book, they changed a few things, so the experience in like female versus male appreciation of that film didn't really last, or didn't really compare the same way, because she had already known everything that was going to happen. And we didn't really discuss it all that much. I thoroughly enjoyed Gone Girl. I really, really liked it, but it didn't really happen. But the movie thing is funny. The last movie I saw, and if Chris was listening to this, he'd kill me. And if he is, he's going to speak up in about 2 seconds, because he's But we saw The Revenant together. Chris and his wife and my wife and I, we all saw The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. For the record, I didn't enjoy The Revenant. We were talking about, there you go, Brian, you mentioned watching a movie 5 times to see if you can appreciate it. There's a movie I would give 5 watches to, because I feel like it probably deserves it. I love the director. I'm 90% sure he did Birdman, and I loved Birdman. So I would watch that 5 times, and I bet by the 5th watch I would probably appreciate it a lot more. But for whatever reason, when I watched it, I did not enjoy it. I didn't find it overly thoughtful. I have issues with it that I could talk for hours on end about. But here's Chris, and Chris is so cute, and I want to stress that because I love Chris to death. This is Chris Viseau, by the way, from the stream. And we're sitting there, and I can see him like I'm like watching from the side of my eyes as we're watching this movie. And I know he read the book, because he like told me he read the book before. It's based on the true account, so he read the true account. And there's like a few scenes where he's kind of like, like next to me in the theater. And sure enough, like a scene happens, and he leans over, and he goes, "That didn't happen. That's not what happened. He didn't even have that." And I'm like, okay, let me enjoy the movie. And he's like, yeah, but no, that's not what happened. Now I'm exaggerating for humor, but he like stops the movie basically, and my enjoyment of the movie, to tell me that a scene is wrong. And me being an avid movie watcher, to me that's a big no-no. So I leaned over and I was like, I don't care. And after the movie, and I could see it immediately set with him. And after the movie came out, and he's like, whoa, whatever, you don't want to hear my opinion on the movie. I was like, no, man, like, I think it's awesome, and I'm glad that you read it, and you're totally entitled to it, but you gotta understand that telling me that a scene in the movie is wrong while we're watching the movie is not going to benefit me in any way or my enjoyment of the film. And I think it's so cute, because I think, again, that's sort of the thing. When you read a book, you know, and the movie's different, yes, I think, like, you get a different experience, and you get a different thing. But I think it's also kind of like you sort of want to tell everyone that you saw it. It's exactly what I did earlier when you said the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Shutter Island. For no reason, I felt this impulse to be like, oh, I read that book. Because I don't know, I think reading nowadays is, I mean, again, reading is important. Reading is fantastic. It should be promoted and all that kind of stuff. But I also think people sort of have, it's sort of a badge of honor to be like, oh, I read. I read that book and I read it all. So you know what? Is that wrong? No. It's pushing, it's promoting all that kind of stuff. It's just really funny. I think that's just how people work. I think people are just funny like that. Clue had Tim Curry and so many. Yeah, Tim Curry and that dude I always forget from Saturday Night Live. Well, he was from Saturday Night Live with the hair, and he's got that voice from Spinal Tap. That's such a bad description. And there's so many people I can't even think about it. Movie theater, you can never compete with theater of the mind. Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, books, honestly, they're fantastic. And you always picture them differently in the books, you know? Like, sometimes you get it totally wrong, sometimes you get it right. I might do it with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Did you not enjoy that? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? I think, like, I enjoyed it when I saw it. I don't think I appreciated it as much as I could have. That's how I feel about Bourne books compared to the movies. I mean, 3 movies equal book 1. Really? That's how it works out? 3 movies are just the first book? Or do you mean that the three books are 1 movie? Because if so, that's crazy. I've never heard that. Have you seen Seventh Son of the Seventh Son? No. Is that the one with Jeff Bridges? I did not enjoy The Revenant. Not a bad movie, but the trailer was too misleading. Again, I got so many issues with The Revenant. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear them. I'll just suffice it to say I felt it had a lot of potential. Wasn't my cup of tea. Yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it at that because it's like I go on and on about that movie. After Leo's award speech, I wanted to see it, but it definitely had a long, lackluster feel, but it matched the setting. Yeah, it's okay. I'll very, very briefly. My biggest issue, summed up in one thing, is the director. He did Birdman, which were these long takes, and it really suited the world of Birdman, which was a great movie. Birdman was behind the scenes of a functioning like theater, and they were running a show, and the music and the filming were all very representative of like the feeling and the energy of a theater. It was almost filmed like a live theater production, which is what the film was about. The camera was constantly moving, it was constantly spinning, so the cinematography was very distinctive to Birdman, and I loved Birdman for that. And movies that tell the story through the visual representation, not just, you know, a straightforward way to do it, but movies that tell the story through the camera work are really, really important to me. Like Children of Men is one of my favorite movies of all time because it doesn't just tell a story, it also utilizes the camera work to tell the story. It has really long, drawn-out shots, very clever, lighting and stuff like that. It's just beautifully shot, and it's like respected, and I love that about it because it's not just a surface, you know. It's got layers to it, and in the actual technical elements, the way it's done. Anyway, so Birdman had this really beautiful filming and long shots, and they were all really in line with the theme of the story of Birdman. The Revenant utilized all those same techniques, and at first I was like, okay, like that's kind of neat. But to me, none of those techniques were significant of the story that The Revenant was telling. Like, for instance, a lot of the shots, the camera was like spinning and moving and running around. And when the movie starts off, it sort of starts off right in between a battle. And it makes sense because it kind of gets you in the moment. You know, tomahawks are flying, arrows are soaring. But then the camera continues to move. And there was a lot of weird, like, fisheye lens shots where the camera comes right up to Leo's face and he breathes on the camera and you can see like fog on the camera, and it felt very Hollywood. Had the director cast unknowns in the roles, had he used sort of more traditional camera angles and just told a story rather than sort of using the same way he did Birdman, I think that would have been one of my favorite movies ever done. But I didn't see a guy lost in the wilderness after being, trapped in the wilderness after being attacked by a bear. I saw Leo in a beard, and the camera work took me right out of the movie. It made me feel like it was staged. I felt like I could see the guy holding the camera running around. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird how much camera work really is important. How like shooting something, you know, shows a different perspective. You know, like you can shoot a scene in the room with a guy, you know, talking to someone on the phone, or you can shoot that same scene from outside through a window, right? Like the first time, if the camera's in the room with the guy, it's like, oh yeah, you're listening to the guy on the phone. But if you're like shooting it through a window, you're like, the audience is taking the perspective of like a watcher, like you're watching a conversation that you shouldn't really be listening to. You know what I mean? And that's sort of like the best way I can describe the fact that camera work is so important, and the fact that the camera work of Revenant was so similar to Birdman, and I felt Birdman was so representative of the story that I felt it took me right out of Revenant. Anyway, I didn't even want to get into it, but that's that big boring why Revenant was one of the reasons why. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Jeff Bridges in it's kind of fantasy RPG feel, hilarious, and even reference rolling die in the level of monsters, but it's like medieval times. That sounds awesome. Seventh Seal. I should check that out. Birdman equals good. Paperman equals good. Paperman's with Jeff Daniels, isn't it? I don't know anything about it. I think he's a comic book artist or something. I know nothing about it. I should check it out. Should it have been renamed Revenant Man? Maybe. If I had seen The Revenant without having seen the trailer, I would have enjoyed it thoroughly, but it was... as it was, I went into with certain expectations. By the end, I felt lied to. That's fair. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a misrepresentation. Movie compared to trailer, I was let down by Lovely Bones. I thought it would have been more thrilling and a less creepy version of What Dreams May Come. Side note, I love What Dreams May Come. When Robin Williams died, I think everybody turned to their favorite Robin Williams movie, and believe me, there are a lot that I could choose from. I love 1 Hour Photo. I love Good Will Hunting. I love Patch Adams. No, sorry, not Patch Adams. Awakenings. Awakenings is the one I always loved with him. I mean, there's just a billion. Hook, Jack, whatever. But I turned to What Dreams May Come, partly because of the significance of the death and the whole reason and the whole story of What Dreams May Come. But to me, What Dreams May Come is like a perfect movie if they changed 5 things about it. If they just like tweaked 5 things in What Dreams... I couldn't name them. But if they just changed like 5 really important scenes and like 5 maybe actor choices or whatever. Oh my god, fucking Birdcage. Sorry, that's the best movie. We'll come back to that. You're 100% right. I'm totally wrong. I think I'm more watched What Dreams May Come because of the significance of the death and all that kind of stuff. But if they changed 5 things, that would be a perfect movie. But Birdcage is a perfect movie. Birdcage is... Unless I can think of something better, no. Even Dead Poets. Dead Poets is good, but no. To me, Birdcage is like the best Robin Williams movie. That movie just makes me feel good. I don't know why. It's just such a positive movie. I cannot help but like feel better during and watching that movie. I think it's mainly because the love between Nathan Lane and Robin Williams in that movie feels so genuine. More genuine than like any other. I would put that fake relationship up to any other relationship in film and be like, yeah, that's like one of the most genuine feeling relationships. It just feels so honest. And I love it because of that. It's so cute. Actually, I did that challenge by accident. I did it with Scott Pilgrim, and it's still my favorite movie visually. Scott Pilgrim's a great movie. Edgar Wright, I admire him as a director. He was originally supposed to do Ant-Man, and I think that would have been really cool. But Shaun of the Dead's great. World's End was a bit, End of the World, whatever it's called, was a bit, it wasn't as good as Hot Fuzz. Shaun of the Dead is his best of the Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead is the best. Hot Fuzz is great, but it does not hold up in repeat viewings. And World's End was good. But the thing is, Shaun of the Dead I've watched many times, and it holds up every time. Hot Fuzz was great the first time I watched it. It was okay the second time. And the third time it was a bit. And you know what it is? Just to add that second layer, even though no one's disagreeing with me. The big difference between Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, both same writer, directors, blah, blah. Shaun of the Dead is the everyman. Hot Fuzz is a superhero. That's the difference. Shaun of the Dead takes the place of a boring, burnout, whatever, that you, the audience, can put yourself in the role of, and you want him to do better, right? Like, you can be like, oh man, I sympathize with that, the dull drudgery of everyday work. You just kind of, you keep moving forward, and it's a relatable character. Hot Fuzz, while it is very funny and very entertaining, the main character is not relatable. He's stoic, he's hard, he's talented, he takes his job seriously, and I don't find him a relatable character. That's the big difference between those two movies. Other than that, they're both great movies. But Shaun of the Dead will always be better because it has that human element. Camera angle in a movie reminds me of Stranger Than Fiction. I like that movie. That's the one with, what's his name? Will something? The guy, funny guy. Ferret? Will, what the fuck's his name? Will Ferrell. Is that right? Sounds weird. Will Ferrell, yeah. Yeah, and it's like Emma Emma Stone. Not Emma Stone. Emma Watson. God, I'm terrible with names tonight. Mind you, it's 1:45 in the morning. Emma something or other. She plays the author and he comes to life. I remember liking it. I don't remember anything with the camera angles, but I remember liking it. I like Dead Poets Society due to the connection between his battle and Robert Sean Leonard's battle in the movie. It helps those who don't understand the Depression battle. Yeah, I've seen Dead Poets. I like Dead Poets. I own Dead Poets. I don't remember it that well, though, to be honest. I guess it just didn't resonate with me. But that's the thing, right? That's the beauty of movies. They resonate with different people. They, like, ring true in certain elements. There are like things that, I don't know, that stock better with certain people. I don't know what that means. I think like a soup stock, you know, where you got to keep it overnight. Okay, settled. Halloween time challenge. Doing Infinity or Dark Skies. Infinity or Dark Skies. I've heard of Dark Skies. I've never seen Infinity, and I've never seen Dark Skies, so can't help you with that. November, we'll do Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It is beautiful. I love it to death. Everything. The director, Michel Gondry, Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, the ending, the beginning, Mark Ruffalo's in it, Kirsten Dunst, that dude who I always forget, the older guy, Tom Wilkinson, I think is his name. And Elijah Wood. I think I just listed the whole cast for no reason. And it's written by what's his name, Charlie Kaufman, I think. It's so good. You never watched it? Oh man, dude! Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is so good. It is. You know what? I would argue that it is the perfect example of a poorly functioning relationship. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad relationship, but Eternal Sunshine, it so perfectly encapsulates a relationship that's doomed from the start. And I blame it on both of them. And they're such believable characters. I know Jim Carrey from like everything, but his character, which, I can hear his name in my head because I've seen it so many times, but I can't think of it. Jarrett? No. She's Clementine. I know that because I've seen it that many times. Clementine and... I forget his name. But they're so believable characters because I know people like that. He's the one who doesn't say what's on his mind. She's the one that's volatile and you know, expressive and a dreamer and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen that relationship happen so many times. I highly recommend it. You gotta watch it. Garden State isn't bad if you like Turtles. Garden State's great. Loved it. Haven't seen Garden State in a long time. Really good movie. Rewatched it. Also holds up. Lane family's going to turn in for the night. Gotta wake up for church. Mark, Victoria, and I believe your daughter's name was Abby. But if not, just daughter Lane. Good night, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. This was awesome. I love the fact that the three of you were hanging out. That's so cool. Enjoy church tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. To answer your question, Harlan, the first three movies of the Bourne series cover the same subjects as character development as the first Bourne book, and Jason Bourne uses chicken wire to string the guys. Crazy. That's nuts. I watched Fight Club the first time a few days ago. Fight Club's just great. Totally great. Dark Skies is Aliens Infinity. I've heard of Dark Skies. I've seen the cover. Is that the one with that dude? What's he from? He played such an asshole boyfriend in a TV show. Infinity is sci-fi like Event Horizon. Yeah, I've never even heard of that. Joel. Yeah, Joel. I knew that. Speaking of Garden State, I really like his newer movie with Kate Hudson, Wish I Were Here. Also like that. That was good. Yeah, I did like it. Didn't have the same resonance, I think, as Garden State did. Wish I Were Here, I think, was just more of a story. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Mark posted a pic on Facebook. Awesome. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to like it. Because that sounds adorable. Have a great night, guys. That's awesome. Fight Club. Read the book Survivor. I know Fight Club's based on a book. Is that... Dark Skies is better than Signs. I liked Signs. I don't know why. I know everyone else hated it. So I just enjoyed it. I like Mel Gibson. I don't know. I'm one of those guys. I mean, you guys know I have problems with Mel Gibson because he does that fucking stupid thing on his face all the time. He's like, I shouldn't be here. But I like him a lot. The Game is great. Also David Fincher. So that's 3 David Fincher movies we've named. Gone Girl, Fight Club, and The Game. You've been watching those mindfuck movies lately. Man, let me think. What else is good? Memento. Memento's a great mindfuck movie. There's hundreds. I've seen too many movies. Oh, that's right. I want to tell you guys about Spaced Invaders. If you haven't seen Spaced Invaders, I want you guys to find it, download it, do me a favor and watch it before Halloween, or watch it on Halloween. Because Spaced Invaders, so get this. This is my favorite thing about Spaced Invaders. True life, first off, in real life, I'm sure some of you know this. If you don't, this is a bit of history. In the... I don't know the year. I think it was maybe 1939. But that might have been too early. Maybe it's 1949. I don't know. And sometime between the 30s to 50s, Orson Welles had a radio broadcast called War of the Worlds. We all know it. We've all heard it. The War of the Worlds broadcast was something that was sent out, and he said very clearly before the broadcast and during multiple times that this was a radio play. War of the Worlds is a novel by H.G. Wells, and it was converted into a radio play, and they read it out. So, this comes on the radio. I think it was 39. I'm going to guess 39. This comes on the radio in 1939. Even though it's got the warning, people tune in a bit late, whatever. Mass hysteria ensues. It goes nuts, apeshit. People hear this because the way they do it, this like fictionalized sort of radio play, utilizes the radio to sort of break the fourth wall. So, you know, they're like, oh, you're listening to War of the Worlds. And then it's like, this is Johnson from the something controls. We have a spaceship landing. So anyway, people heard this over the radio, this War of the Worlds broadcast. And people ended up like killing themselves. Some people thought they were being invaded by Mars. They hung themselves. Some people prepared for all-out Martian war. So they wore like buckets on their heads and they drove to like towns and they started getting mobs together because they sincerely thought that Mars was invading. And that was like the first like accidental prank, I guess, that really was widespread, and it was through the radio. Anyway, so that really happened. That's real life. 1939, Orson Welles plays this trick on all these people. The movie Spaced Invaders is so clever because what it does is it plays on that same premise, but it flips it. So here's the story. It's like the 1990s in a rural town in the middle of nowhere, somewhere down south. And as an annual Halloween tradition, the radio DJ plays the entirety of War of the Worlds. So he's playing War of the Worlds and it's being broadcast. And these aliens from Mars, way up space, they're getting transmissions that are like lost in space. And they hear the broadcast. And they think that Mars, their own people, are invading Earth. So they come to Earth in order to sort of aid in the invasion of Earth. So first off, the concept is freaking hilarious because it's turning our own past on our head. And secondly, beyond that point, which is just the premise of the movie's great. It's an awesome kids movie filled with Halloween, like that feeling, you know, where like leaves are on the street and all that kind of shit. So if you're looking for like a good sort of kiddie, innocent Halloween movie, Spaced Invaders, check it out, download it, torrent it. It's hilarious, it's funny, and it uses like a real life event to sort of solidify its purpose for existing. Lethal Weapon holds up, awesome. Yeah, I watched not too long ago either, actually. I think I watched all 4 of them. I really like the 4th one too. It's really good. Watch The Road 5 times. Kill yourself through depression. Fun fact, The Road by Cormac McCarthy is my favorite novel of all time. The movie didn't hold up as well. Directed by John Hillcoat, who also did one of my favorite movies called The Proposition, but wasn't crazy about it. In the Mouth of Madness, had to check those out, haven't heard of them. Illusionist Prestige, that's some mindfuckeries. Illusionist was good. That was the one with, what's his name, Hawk Boy. Original Hulk boy. Prestige I wasn't crazy about. Bully's messed up. I don't remember Bully. Bully. I don't think I've seen that. Love the Truman Show. Truman Show is great. Requiem for a Dream. You know what? Requiem for a Dream was one of those movies that didn't click for me. Everyone was like, oh man, Requiem for a Dream is the most depressing movie ever, and like you feel so badly for them. I didn't. Maybe I'm heartless, but I was kind of like, yeah, a lot of those problems, like, yeah, don't get me wrong, like a lot of the things that happened in that movie sucked. Like the old lady who got drugged out and messed up. Like she just kind of had like a bad batch. But Requiem for a Dream, the majority of it, like the Jared Leto, Damon Wayans, or whatever Wayans brother that was, I didn't really feel sympathy for them at all. And the girl, I forget her name, Jennifer, whatever her name was, Jennifer Connelly? Yeah. I don't know. I didn't buy it, I guess. Jacob's Ladder, The Others, love The Others. Jacob's Ladder was good. You just saw Jacob's Ladder. It's good. I don't know. Jacob's Ladder to me is like one viewing. Fantastic for the challenge, really? I don't know. To me, I enjoyed it, but once you kind of find out the ending, you're like, yeah, that's about it. 7 is a great movie. That holds up. That's the 4th David Fincher we've mentioned, guys. Sixth Sense. Again, I don't know if that one would hold up. I haven't seen that one. Lots to see in that movie. Jacob's Ladder? Yeah. Donnie Darko didn't really click with me either. Minus the song Mad World, which is always very sweet. The Gary Jules cover. Although that dude did another one. The guy did Donnie Darko. What was his name? Richard. Who directed it? I can't remember. But he did one called Southland Tales, which is really weird. And I actually kind of dug that. I think I liked that more than Donnie Darko. Because it was like really weird. I'm talking like, yeah, you gotta watch it. If you ever see the chance to watch Southland Tales, it was with The Rock. And who else was it? It was The Rock and, oh god, Buffy was in it. And Sean William Scott played like a twin. And it was just weird. It was really weird. I forget the director's name. Richard something. Donner? No, not Richard Donner. That's Lethal Weapon. Richard something else. She didn't have a bad batch. She was chasing the dragon, but with speed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was weird. Deja Vu, Vanilla Sky. Deja Vu, that's the one with Denzel Washington. I saw that. I don't remember it. Vanilla Sky. I don't remember that one either. I remember his face gets messed up. That one where Christian Bale got super skinny for the role. Yes, The Machinist or Mechanist or... You know what that thing is? Okay, The Machinist. Yeah, The Machinist. It was The Machinist. That movie was good because he got super skinny, but I kind of thought the ending was stupid. Not to ruin it. Spoilers. If you haven't seen The Machinist, mute this for like 10 seconds. Just count to 10. So the ending of The Machinist, you find out the exact reason that he did that. And it was because he like killed a kid, right? Like he was driving his car and he killed a kid. And I always thought that was really weird to like do, like to lose all that weight. Like, okay, I get it. I don't know. Killing a kid's terrible, but like it just felt like such a big dramatic weight loss for kind of a meh reason. Like maybe if he killed his own kid, or like maybe if he killed like kid purposefully, or like, you know, like something like we just played in the park where she like maybe totally fucked up her life. The crime didn't fit the late weight loss, in my opinion. Requiem was too in your face with how unfortunate the characters' lives were for you to care about them. Yeah, it felt a bit too fictionalized. I think that's a good way to put it. I think it felt really obvious that these aren't real people, and I didn't care for them because of that. Vanilla was a Tom Cruise, yeah. Messed up movie, The Girl Next Door, original version, new one's good too. The Girl Next Door. I don't remember that. The Girl Next Door. I don't know if I saw that. Sad The Machinist wasn't that great. Sad The Christian Bale's amazing. Yeah, he's very good. Denzel, Man on Fire. Yeah, I saw it. Denzel, I can take a break. He's never that great. Black Swan was good. Inception was good. He lost the weight because he couldn't sleep, right? Yeah, he's just like felt bad, I guess. I don't know. He just, I don't know. It just seemed like it was like an extreme answer. I don't know. It sounds bad because I mean, I guess what he did was terrible, right? So it was extreme, but it didn't feel extreme to me. I feel like with that kind of weight loss, it should have been something super important. The Girl Next Door. That sounds super familiar. Who's in it? Let me Google this. The Girl Next Door. No, that's can't be that one. Not the one with Emil Hirsch, where he lives next to a porn star. Based on the Jack Ketchum novel. Oh, is this the one where the girl's in the basement and like gets raped repeatedly? Spiegel abuses a committed teenage girl in the care of her aunt and the boys. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I remember that one. I remember reading about it because it's like a real, yeah, based on real events. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's like that they tie her up in the basement, like the boys come over, and then finally one reported her like days later. I watched one recently with Abigail Breslin where she kills boys in the woods. That's weird. Shutter Island, yeah, Shutter Island was okay. I read that book. Hard Candy. Oh, that was that one with the little girl, the little Canadian girl from Juno. What was her name? Who's Juno? What was her name? Too many names thrown out. I forget. Hard Candy was a good movie, except it had a disappointing ending, because like all this shit is like going, you know, like going in one direction where she's like torturing this guy for being a monster, and then she like cuts off his balls, and then you find out that she didn't, which I thought was kind of a cop out. So basically the movie can be boiled down to this girl goes to a pedophile's house, she threatens him, and then leaves, which I thought was kind of a cop out. I would have preferred Ellen Page, thank you. She goes to the guy's house, she cuts off his balls, he dies. You couldn't get into The Shining. You know what though? I don't blame you. I find the majority of the popular Stanley Kubrick movies have usually like a 50-50 split. The first half is always very, very one way, usually very long, builds up a lot of the story. And the second half is like totally different. Take any of his major movies. Full Metal Jacket, first half is all boot camp, second half is all Vietnam. Shining, first half is all like getting to the hotel, then he finally gets to the hotel. Doctor Strangelove, the first half is all like sort of the army stuff and the history, the second half is the war room. Paths of Glory, Stanley Kubrick, the fucking Malcolm McDowell one, where they're hoodlums and they're running around the street. Clockwork Orange, they're, again, the first half they're hoodlums, the second half he's in rehab, being rehabilitated. I just find his movies have like a really clear divide point. 2001, the first half is like getting to the thing, the pole, the tablet, the obelisk, and then the second half is like the journey to Jupiter, which is interesting because everyone thinks, if you've never seen 2001 Space Odyssey, you sort of like associate it with that little red blinking dot eye, which is HAL, which doesn't come in until like an hour and a half into the movie. I'd rather watch We Were Soldiers than Full Metal. I don't remember We Were Soldiers, but I think I would. I never really liked Full Metal Jacket. Minus the amazing performance by Vincent D'Onofrio. He just kills that role. You don't even know it's him, but he's amazing in it. Do you think the build-up is worth it, or does it hurt the film overall? For The Shining, here's the thing. The Shining is so difficult because it is so iconic. I think anyone who's anyone at least can quote lines from that movie, and they don't even have to see it. So it's tough to take a movie like The Shining sort of on its own merit to say whether it's, you know, personally, no. I never really dug The Shining. I never found it particularly scary or particularly interesting. I sort of felt it was a bit, I don't know. I don't know what about The Shining never freaked me out, but it just, I don't know. Maybe I never watched it in the right setting. I think it depends on the speed of the build-up. Directors have very different build-up feels. Yeah, that's true. Like, I would say Kubrick is, like, famous for how long he takes build-ups. And again, 2001: A Space Odyssey. If you haven't seen it, I would say frickin' like it's at least an hour and a half of like just build up. Like the whole first sequence in space is just and they're just floating around. You do nothing. Mind you, it is even 2001: A Space Odyssey, it holds up so well. If you watch it now in the Blu-ray cut, it looks like it was filmed yesterday. The details and the quality and the film stock and everything is nuts. It's killer. Love the discussion, guys, but I gotta go to sleep. Have a good night. I demand Harlan Talks live stream. Sure, man. Shining, freak people out. Good night, guys. You know what? I'm gonna go to bed too. Actually, we're gonna cut it right now, or in a few seconds, because I totally agree. It's like 2 a.m. It just happens when I get caught up in chatting about movies. I love movies. Okay, let's stretch. Oh. Jack Nicholson isn't scary. He's pretty scary. Feel like you can't be a sci-fi without having seen Dune or Space Odyssey. Well, hey man, don't gatekeep. We talk about gatekeeping. My logic is you can be a sci-fi fan if you like, I don't know, a picture of space. You know, sci-fi fans will exist any way they want. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for playing along and having a great chat. This was so fun. I appreciate you guys doing all this kind of stuff. This will hopefully be the last live stream before my vacation. But who knows? Maybe tomorrow morning or tomorrow night I'll stream. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic night. Sleep tight. And as always, we will see you around the table. Good night, guys.